Hello students, we already finished 2 videos of the first scene of Act I. We have witnessed the great storm, the tempest, how the royal passengers were put to trouble. At the end, how they come to ruins. In between, there was a dialogue between the boatswain and the members of the king's family, and the jovial intervention of Gonzalo. At the end of the scene 1, we are seeing the ship being completely destroyed. Now we shall begin the new scene, Act 1, Scene 2. I suppose you have seen the video. The PDF what I sent you yesterday. Those who haven't watched, please watch it, because the PDF gives you a brief picture of the entire drama, a short introduction to the entire drama, summary of it, and also it summarizes Scene 2, gives you the different themes and the main plot, and the characters are also being introduced. So in case you haven't gone through it, please go through it. As I told you, this is the longest scene in the drama. So it will take so many days to complete it. We shall do it with a lot of patience. It's very important scene, therefore we cannot neglect it, we need to do it. So yesterday I told you there are 3 parts. It's divided into 3 parts. It's given there at the beginning: Prospero's tale to Miranda, the introduction of Ariel and Caliban, the initial meeting of Ferdinand and Miranda. So first we shall take up part 1, that is Prospero's tale to Miranda. That will take a few classes, doesn't matter. So the entire scene takes place in an island in front of Prospero's cell. Prospero is living in a cell. Cell means a small room in an island. He is living there along with his daughter. The island before Prospero's cell, enter Prospero and Miranda. Miranda: if by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinging pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's check, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I so suffer. A brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should, the good ships so have swallowed, and the floating souls within her. So Miranda seemed to have witnessed the tempest. The tempest we have witnessed in the first scene. Miranda has witnessed. She has seen how the ship was being tossed over the water. She has seen the fierce tempest. She witnessed the crying of the passengers for help. She saw how the ship was being swallowed by the sea in rage. So after seeing all this, she was very much affected. Her heart was pained. At the same time, she knew that her daddy had magical powers and he was capable of doing this kind of things. So, she is trying to tell her daddy, in case if it's you who did it, please stop it, because I have seen their suffering and I am suffering with them. That's the gist of it. If by your art, that is, if by your magic, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. Allay means subside. What does it mean? A subsidy? Subsidy? I got subsidy. Subsidize. Subsidy means to reduce. So, if this tempest is caused by you, by your magic power, Father, please reduce it. Please stop it. Put an end to it. The sky, it seems, should pour down stinging pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. It looks so frightening. Frightening. It's so dark. And it looks like the sky is going to pour down stinging pitch. That is a foul smelling things. Tar-like substance. That's what is given here. Tar-like substance. Foul smelling, tar-like substance is going to be poured down from there. And it's a boiling one. That means a boiling tar-like substance is about to be poured down from the sky. It speaks about the frightening effect of the tempest. And she says, it will pour down unless the sea mounting to the welkin's cheek dashes the fire out. Unless the sea rises to the sky and puts off the fire. It's a kind of imagination that the whole sky is boiling up. And it's going to pour down certain substance that will destroy. Unless the sea swells and rises up to the sky and puts off the fire, there will be some substance being poured down. It is to speak about the great impact of the tempest. Oh, I have suffered with those that I so suffer. Miranda has seen the people in the ship suffering, and she says she too suffered with them. That means she became part of it. She was feeling pity for them. She was able to feel with them. Oh, I have suffered with those that I so suffer. A brave vessel who had, no doubt, some noble creatures in her. A brave vessel. Brave means splendid, meaning is given there. That means magnificent or excellent or fine. A fine vessel. A beautiful ship. Vessel is ship. A beautiful ship it was. And I am sure there were some noble creatures. Noble creatures means noble men. Noble people were present in that beautiful ship. What happened to the ship? Dashed all to pieces. Dashed means ruined. R-U-I-N-E-D. Ruined or smashed. The entire ship was ruined or smashed to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. So when the ship was going down, the ship wrecked, and the ship was going down, sinking into the sea, people were crying out for help as they were perishing. The cry of death. It's terrible. When people die, they cry out. So here so many people dying in a miserable state. They were all crying out. That cry has hit my heart. That means I am affected by the sorrow of the people who were in the ship when the ship went down the waters. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth. If I had the power of a god, I don't have. If I had, Prospero, Daddy, you may have, because you are a magician. But I don't have. I wish that I had. If I had the power, I would have sunk the sea under the earth. Before, when have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship to have swallowed, and the floating souls within her. Floating souls are persons on board the ship. So what Miranda is trying to say is, now at present what happened? The ship, along with the people present on the ship or inside the ship, they were all sunk into the sea. If I had the power like that of gods, I would have made the sea to go down the earth before the sea swallowed the ship. Now it's gone. The sea has already swallowed the ship. But if I had the power of God, I would have made the sea to go down the earth before it took the ship down into its bottom. So it's a bit of exaggeration, and a poetic language is used to say that she was so much disturbed. She was so sad to see such a miserable sight. Prospero, be collected, no more amazement. Tell your piteous heart, there is no harm done. Prospero is very cool, well disposed. Prospero speaks very, very politely, says, be collected, be cool. No more amazement. Amazement here meaning is alarm. There's nothing to be frightened. You seem to be scared. Don't get frightened. Be cool, nothing will happen. Tell your piteous heart, there is no harm done. Piteous heart is a heart which is full of compassion. A compassionate heart, or a heart full of compassion. Your heart seems to be one of compassionate one. So your heart is troubled. Don't worry. Be cool and don't fear anything. Nothing will happen. Miranda. Oh the day. Oh the day means awful day. That means horrible day. A horrible day. Because I have seen a horrible sight wherein a beautiful ship and the people on it being sunk to the sea. A horrible day. Prospero. No harm. No harm means nothing to worry. Nothing will happen. I have done nothing but in care of thee. You don't worry. Whatever I have done it for your sake. Everything I have done is for you. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter. Everything I have done, whatever I have done it for you, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor self, and thy no greater Father. See, I have done it everything for your sake, but you don't understand. Why? Because you do not know who you are. You do not know what you are and who you are. You do not know where you came from. And you do not know the real me. What you know is, I am Prospero and I have nothing but a poor self. You know that I am your daddy and I own a poor cell, a poor room. That is the only thing you know. But actually, who you are, what you are, who I am, you do not know. That's a problem. If you had known it, you would have known that whatever I am doing is for you. Miranda. More to know did never meddle with my thoughts. So when Prospero said that you do not know so many things, you do not know what you are, you do not know who I am, so many things are not known to you, she says, more to know did never meddle with my thoughts. Meddle means enter into. You have don't meddle with me, don't meddle with it, means don't play with it, don't entertain it. So more to know did never meddle with my thoughts, means I never thought there is anything more to know. I never knew that there are so many things I need to know. I thought I know many things, most of it. Only now I come to know that there are many things which are not known to me. It never struck my mind. Prospero. It's time I should inform thee further. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. Then Prospero says, it is time I should inform thee further. It's time that I should tell you more. Further means more. I should tell you more. That means I should tell you the whole story. It is time that I should tell you the whole story. So far I did not say, but now it is time. Lend thy hand. Lend thy hand means give your hand and remove my magic coat from me. Pluck my magic garment from me. Pluck means to remove. Remove my magic garment from me. You have seen the magicians, no? Before the magicians do any trick, they put on a long coat and then they do the magic. So Prospero was having the coat on. So now he asks his daughter to remove it. So lays down his robe, lie there my art. So when Prospero removes, Miranda helps him to remove it. So he takes and keeps it aside. Then he tells the court, tells the magic court, lie there my art. So he calls the magic court my art. That is, he is able to perform all the magic with the help of this court. So he calls it my art. My art, please lie down there for some time. I shall take you afterwards. Please lie down there for some time. So lays down his robe. Robe means coat. The overcoat is called robe. Lie there my art, wipe thou thine eyes. First he tells the robe, please lie down there. Then he turns to Miranda and says, wipe thine eyes. Miranda has been crying. She is so much pained to see the shipwreck. How so many people have been swallowed by the sea. Their cry of agony. Their yelling for help. So she was very much moved, and when she explained it to her daddy, her eyes were already watery. She was crying. So Prospero tells her, wipe thou thine eyes. Have comfort. Be comforted. Don't worry. The direful spectacle of the wreck which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine art so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as an hair betted to any creature in the vessel, which thou heardest cry, which thou sawest sing. Sit down, for thou must now know further. So now he is revealing that it was his work. The creation of the tempest was his own work. He is acknowledging. The direful spectacle of the wreck. Direful means dreadful, that is fearsome. The fearful sight of the spectacle is sight. The fearful sight of the wreck, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee. You have seen the pitiable swallowing of the ship, and the essence of your compassion was moved. Your heart was moved. So that was caused by me. I have with such provision in mine art so safely ordered. Provision is foresight. I have seen to it. And with great foresight, I ordered it. Ordered means arranged. With the help of my magic, I have arranged this tempest with such care that nobody will be hurt. There is no soul. No soul means no person. No, not so much perdition as an hair betted to any creature in the vessel. Vessel is ship. Perdition is destruction. Betted is happen. So what Prospero is saying, don't worry. Nothing will happen to any person. Why? Leave alone the person, not even the hair of their head will be destroyed. Not even a hair of their means nothing will happen. Everything is taken care of. I have arranged it in such a way with the help of my magic that not a single person will be hurt in any manner. Therefore, don't worry, don't lose heart, don't feel sorrow. Everything will be fine. Sit down, for thou must now know further. You have more things to know. I will tell you many more things. Please sit down. Miranda, you have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped. Many times in the past, you have tried to tell me this story, but you never said it. You always stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet. Many times you attempted to say the story, but you never said it. And left me to a bootless inquisition. Bootless means fruitless. Futile. Futile means useless. Inquisition means questioning. I always questioned, please, come on, tell me the story. So many times I asked you, but you never said it. You always said, stay, not yet. Wait. It's not a time for you to listen. So you always put it off. Then Prospero says, the hour is now come. Okay, I have put it off. Without saying the story, I have put it off. I always said, wait, it's not a time. But now is the time. Now the time has come. The very minute bids thee, obey thine ear, obey and be attentive. The time has come for you to listen to that story. So open your ears, be attentive, pay attention and listen. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wert not out 3 years old. Using the Old English used in the literature. Canst thou remember means can't you remember a time before we came into this cell? I do not think thou canst. I do not think you can. For then thou wast, then you were not totally 3 years old. That is, in short, can you remember anything before we came into this cell? I don't think you can, because you were too small. You were not even 3 years old. Therefore, I think you don't remember anything of our coming into this cell. Miranda, certainly, sir, I can. No, don't say. Surely I remember some things. Prospero. By what? By what means, what do you remember? So Prospero is surprised to hear that Miranda, though she was only not even 3 years old, she remembers certain things. By what? What do you remember? By any other house or person? Do you remember some house or some persons? Of anything, the image tell me that. You remember some images coming to you? Some house, some people? Anything, please tell me. What is it? Hath kept with thy remembrance. Remembrance is recollection. Are you able to recollect something, some images of houses, persons, something? Please tell me. Miranda. And rather like it is far off. It is far off means very vague, not so clear. It is far off and rather like a dream than an assurance. Everything looks like a dream. Than an assurance means fact. It means it's like a hazy thing. Hazy means not so clear. Not so clear. Something very unclear. Just at the back of the mind. Some remembrance. Not factual things. It all looks like a dream. That means the clarity is missing. That my remembrance warrants. Warrant means guaranteed. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me. Didn't I have? Had I not? Had I not means didn't I have? Didn't I have 4 or 5 women taking care of me? Tending means taking care of. So this is the thing I remember. There were 4 or 5 women taking care of me. See, your childhood memory varies from person to person. There are some people who remember many things. What happened in their childhood. When they were 5 years old, 4 years old, 3 years old, even smaller. But there are people who don't even remember anything. Even to remember the incident, what happened in the first class, second class, some are not able to remember anything. Even what happened very recently, last year also some people forget. Some people have memory of everything. So it varies from person to person. So Miranda remembers that she was being taken care of by 4 or 5 women. Prospero. Thou hadst and more. Of course you had. Not 4 or 5. There were many more. Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? I am surprised that there are so many things happened. But you remember only this thing. Why? Our memory is like that. We remember certain things. We forget some other things. What seest thou else? In the dark backward and abysm of time. Abysm is meaning is given there. Abysm is abyss. Abyss, that is the deep water. Abysm is abyss you normally call abyss is the deep water, the sea where the water is so deep. How deep it is we do not know. It is so deep and it's a huge pit. They call it a chasm, that is a bottomless pit. A pit which has no bottom. That means unlimited depth. Unlimited depth. So our memory is something like that. Memory of the past is like that. So many things have happened. How many things? Thousands. Millions of things have happened. So there is a whole lot of things happened behind. What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? So in that memory of so many things, are you able to remember anything else? If thou rememberest what ere thou camest here, how thou camest here, thou mayest. All this test you will find it difficult. You will try to translate, then you will understand. If thou rememberest means if you remember or if you could remember. Ought means anything. That is, if you could remember about your life. Ere thou camest here, before you came here. How thou camest here, how you came here, you may remember. You may remember. That is to say, if you are able to remember things happened in your life before you are coming here, you will be able to remember how you came here. That's it. So, if you are able to remember things happened in your life before you are coming here, you will be able to remember how you came here. These 4 or 5 women taking care of Miranda, she is able to remember. That happened much before they are coming into this cell. So if you are able to remember things that happened before coming here, I am sure you must be able to remember how we came here. Miranda, but that I do not. I am sorry, Daddy, that I do not remember. How we came here, I don't remember. But this one particular thing of 4 or 5 women taking care of me, that I remember. So we shall stop here today. Thank you.